Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick table update and sort of hobby update of what's going on. I do apologize, I am running my 3D printer in my hobby room today, so if you hear a little bit of whirring in the background, that's the noise. It's not that far from where I'm filming actually. But I hope you enjoyed the display in the beginning. That was the last piece of my Musty Wargamers Old Hammer Challenge for November. I did go slightly over November, as I indicated I probably would, but still pretty early into December, so pretty happy. I am really thrilled with this particular model. I don't know, it's not necessarily like the best thing that I've ever painted or anything, but it just, I was sort of intimidated by this particular model because it's such a fantastical creature. He's just so odd in a lot of ways that it can really, a plan for painting can go wrong sometimes when, you know, it's just something so different like this. And I really do like the model quite a bit, and I wanted to do a good job on him. And he did come out as a real Dark Lord of Chaos in the way I was hoping. It was sort of the way I wanted the contrast on the skin on the upper body, still making him fairly dark on the lower body. He really is a brown. He may look black in some ways. I undercoated the reptilian skin on the dragon was undercoated a brown-black mixture, and then sort of highlighted up to brown. Of course, the horns and the hair is black, and I did use gloss varnish on the horns and the spikes and the claws. So despite the fact that the skin is sort of muted and other things are muted, the horns are really shiny, like extra shiny. In a lot of ways I was thinking of the villain character from the movie Legend with Tom Cruise. If maybe some of you may remember that, he had these gigantic horns on his head and they were really glossy. Even though his skin's not red, I kind of used him and the old painting of Kronos for the skin tones as inspiration for this. I wanted to create something really dark and sinister looking for my Beastman Lord. I see him as really one of the heavy hitters, as a bad guy to potentially lead the army. You can use him just alongside too. He doesn't have to lead your army, but I think it would be pretty badass to have this guy leading my Beastmen force. You know, like the Shaggoths, in a lot of ways are, in my mind, one of the more ultimate abominations of the earthly realms of chaos. I mean, there's tons of demons and huge things in Warhammer Fantasy, you know, that are alongside or bigger, you know, than the Shaggoth. But the Shaggoth, to me, you know, as the Beastman kind of abomination, is sort of a really cool miniature and part of the Warhammer universe. And so, yeah, really happy with that, and really pleased. And so that's going to be it for Fantasy Miniatures just for a little bit. I do have it's funny, after doing the ones that I've done here, I'm really psyched to paint more, but I've got other stuff to do that I'm really excited about as well. What I did do though, because I've gotten so into some of the fantasy stuff, is I finished cleaning up this. I don't think I've showed this completed, but it's a little house by the same designer that did this one, and I wanted to get these painted up. And so when I can get a chance to prime these, because of the weather and things, I typically like to use a rattle can and not my airbrush for terrain, and to prime, at least, not to paint. And I'm going to do that, get these guys primed up, and then in between projects I'm going to paint these. That's kind of a goal for some of my fantasy stuff to keep that kick going. And before I start anything at all, I'm going to finish Captain Marvel, which I've showed. This is just base paint on the figure that I've got here. So I'll be doing that comic style and getting that finished. But then I'm going to be doing a concentrated effort on French-Indian War for a bit, through the holidays. I do have some time off in January that I'm taking, where I'm not going anywhere, just to have some time off. And I would like to do some French-Indian War painting during that as well. And so I'm planning on doing a French-Indian War update, because I have a lot of things I've purchased, and not just miniatures, but like reference material. I got a gift from someone on the channel that I want to show, and then I have just some other things, even a model that is not for miniature gaming, but a French-Indian War kind of model that I'll be painting. And so I'll show all of that stuff as it's sort of trickling in. So a lot of it's in the post. I'll show that stuff in a future update, but I just will mention real quick here, for those interested, I have some of my French-Indian War stuff that I'll be doing right away, and that is, I don't actually think I've showed these on the channel. I'm not going to necessarily pull them out here, but these are Minden Miniatures Mohawks Skirmishing. And so I do have, let's see here, you know, these are just them in various poses with with muskets and things, skirmishing. And then I have a pack of melee. These are Mohawks melee, and so it comes with some of them look like they are. It looks like they already have, with this one, their melee weapons attached. And so I've got gunstock clubs, and they're carrying rifles, which is kind of cool too. Some have gunstock clubs, some have the ball head clubs. Yeah, there. And then I have a pack of Mohawks Advancing, so a third blister, which is nice. So just with guns advancing. And then I have a leader, which is 2 models. Now this guy actually has a separate arm with a peg for the leader here, holding a gun in the other arm, resting a gun, and then also same thing. It's funny because I've noticed some of the character models starting to come out from Minden and Krantara, where they'll have one arm that's loose with a peg for their metal models, where typically they're all totally fixed. But yeah, I have this guy, same guy, like just riding his horse. And then because I'm doing British essentially in this next little concentrated effort, it just so happens it's working out that way. I have this one here is 2 horses that goes with these guys I've shown already. These are Krantara, and they're basically 2 officers, British officers. And then I did get as a bonus pack in an order another British officer from Minden. And you guys have seen this guy, but I'm going to paint him up just as an extra. And so I'll have 3 more British officers, which are good, just some variety of poses and things. So really, I'm starting to, by this point, I'll have had like a fair, for Sharp's practice, I have a fair number of officers. And so that'll be really good. And so, yeah, I don't even know how many I would have by that point, but a lot of officers on horseback there for sure. So, that's about it. Right now, I'm just getting back into doing a little more 3D printing. I've taken almost eight months off because I just have so much to paint. for 3D printing. It just kind of, in some ways, took away a lot of inspiration to make more things. But right now, I'm making some stuff that actually doesn't need to be painted. I'm actually making Christmas ornaments for this Christmas just to give out as gifts. And so I'm actually painting in 2 different colors. They're in 2 different pieces. And they don't even really need to be painted. They're just going to be good as is, and it'll be nice. So, all right, that's kind of what's going on in the Heresy Lounge today. I hope everyone is had a good week. This is kind of winding up towards the end of the week. And I will get back to you with an update shortly, most likely with Captain Marvel next. Take care.